starting off with renewals is the first area I would go is actually reports and do a lease expiration listing type report. So reports, personalize my reports, residential management. And then if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a few different ones. You can see lease expiration listing with vacancies, lease expiration listing by summary. So again, a few different types of reports. I'm just going to go with kind of the classic here. Setting out what property you want and then the appropriate dates as well. There is this include month-to-month option too. So depending if you are sending out renewals to month-to-months, the minimum requirement if you're an LRO property is every 3 months. But this is options available on there as well. So you can print that and just check the system real quick to see whose lease is expiring. You can see the resident ID, expiration date, rent information, type of unit, the reoccurring, and then the original occupancy, as well as some contact information. Okay, after reviewing that, now you're ready to go into the actual renewal worksheet. Where that's located is the resident dropdown, renewals, renewal worksheet. So the renewal worksheet is where you go in and you create renewals in bulk. These are offers that you're extending to the residents. And then this is the area that you would go in and actually generate those from. If you are an LRO property, the pricing structure is already built in, so they pull straight there. So you're going to want to leave that pricing alone unless instructed by LRO to do differently. If you are not an LRO property, you need to go in and make your own adjustments. We'll kind of go through that as well. And then there's also reports and stuff like that to keep that paper trail to get the renewals approved. So let's go ahead and start out with some of the dates that were on our report. Again, if you want to include those month-to-months, notice to vacates, hide rent charges, you have those options in here as well. Hit load grid. Okay, so you can see that the same person that was on my report, Gene, is in here. You can see the name, lease ID, unit types, lease expiration, renewal effective date, what the charges are, the charge codes, so there could be other ones like dog, cat, garage, the current amount, and then what the marketed amount is. And then based on that, the charges that are in the system, you can see the renewal amount frame, so 430 to 500. Also, you can scroll over to the right and see if it's a LRO calculated and LRO unit. So very handy information. Sometimes there might be a property, maybe a few are on LRO and some aren't. So it's a great way to distinguish that as well. So the first thing you can do if you need to adjust it in here is there's this handy button down here said set to market or current. So with that being said is set to market or current, you can say, okay, I want all my charges to be set to the market amounts. You can also go in here and say, okay, I want all my charges to be set to the current amounts. And you can also get a little bit more specific by going either maybe market and I want it just for rent. So again, you do have a few different ways to do it based on that market to current button. The next button over is the increase button. So when you click on this, you can say, okay, I want to do all charges by maybe $100. I like to kind of read these out loud too because it tells me exactly what I'm going to do if I just kind of say it out loud versus just clicking on the button, so it'll help you out. You hit apply, so notice how it went up by 100. You can say specific charges, so maybe I just want rent. And let's say we want to do it by 10%. You can see how it changed that. You can also say specific unit types, specific lease terms, and you can also say to. So maybe I want to set rent to $1,000. Notice how the percentage sign disappears. So a couple different ways to go through and actually increase either charges, unit types, terms, maybe all charges, by or to, and even a percentage. And just imagine if you have over maybe 40, 50 different renewal offers in here, you can quickly go in and adjust that pricing by using these mass increase or mass market to current buttons at the bottom. Next one over is exclude. So you can say exclude all. Anything with this checkbox checked, it will not send them a renewal offer. Clear exclude all. So let's say that you're doing this worksheet and maybe a building is being evacuated because we are remodeling it or something like that. You're pulling all those people in there. Well, it could be really handy if you just go through, hit exclude all, and then just verify and check all the ones that you actually want to send a renewal offer to, or matching it up with the lease expiration listing report. Next, once you get this all set, you can hit print worksheet. Print worksheet is awesome because it'll put everything kind of in a consolidated report showing you all the terms and money, all that kind of stuff on a more consolidated page for managers or whoever the approving manager is. You can see we have a few different types in here. One of the more popular ones is this one that says /manager. And you can see basically, again, it's going to give them all the relevant information related to that renewal. Next is letters. So once you have everything set and you're ready to send out these letters, you can hit letters. It'll give you an option, again, kind of like the renewal worksheet, of putting what letters are going to work for you. In this case, let's go ahead and do the Colorado LRO NWP renewal letter. And it's a really nice slick printout. I would recommend printing it on letterhead, so you have your logo up here. And you can see the rest of it is really good verbiage, nice for marketing. Your lease is expiring, here's what we're offering, if there's anything additional with it. If you choose not to live with us, make sure you give us a 60-day notice, and then just kind of some of our taglines, and letting them know how much we appreciate them and that we want them to renew. Okay, once you have your letter, now you're ready to commit. And by committing in here, you're not committing the renewal, you're committing the renewal offer. So there's a difference between a renewal and a renewal offer. Again, it's that letter that we're sending them. So, committing in here is committing that offer. If you are using this and you need to navigate away or walk away, please make sure to save it and come back and work on it. If you're done with that worksheet and you have information in there, please reset it too when you're done. That way the next person that comes in can pull that information fresh based on whatever the pricing and current situation update is. So, alright, so now I have all my renewal offers. Now I'm going to go in and find them. It's going to be located from the resident drop-down renewals, renewals and process. So for renewals and process, I can kind of see what's going on. This one has been accepted by Hugh Jackman. It's a 12-month term. This is the renewal effective date. These columns up here too, by the way, if you click on them, you can resort by them. So that's kind of nice as well if you have quite a few different renewal offers in here. So I want to go into Jean Gray's apartment and amend lease. And then you can see in renewals, I can tell there's a renewal offer activated in here because these three are in here. If there was no renewal offer in here, it would just say add accept offer. So you have a couple choices. You can delete that offer. Maybe they came in, gave us notice vacate. If you do delete it, I would strongly recommend you print it out and stick it in their file or somewhere electronically. So you just want to kind of keep track of that in case they change their mind, or maybe they get evicted in that time process and we have to show how much their month to month was. So that kind of stuff. The next one is reprint review offers. So you can see all the different ones in here. This print button takes you to the exact same spot. It doesn't matter which one you click on. It navigates you to the renewal letters. So same idea when you originally printed these out. So same idea. Next is add accept offer. So again, those two options. This is where we actually get into the meat and bones of it. So when you get in here, you're always going to want to choose a leasing agent and a concession apply method, even if there's not a concession associated with it. You're going to find whatever renewal offer they want and hit print. Once you hit print, it checks this box. It also sends the first two pages of the lease to your communication center. If you need to make any adjustments to the renewal rentable items or other fees, that's where you would go. Same idea as manually adding it. That's right in there. Same idea with other fees. If you do add something in here, so this, I changed it from when I originally printed it, so I'm going to want to print it again. And then kind of the standard process is you would go in, bring up that lease, get all your documents together, and then go through and have the actual tenant sign it. So once they've signed it, then you would go in and commit that renewal offer. Oops. There we go. So just like that. So once you hit commit, you're saying, yep, this is the renewal offer. It's going into effect. They signed it. Everything's good. It also records on this amend lease screen. It has this little pending renewal offer accepted button. So that just kind of lets you know what's going on with it. Once that date comes to fruition, then this renewal will go into effect. Okay, well that's kind of the basic part of the actual whole renewal process in there. So again, a lot of it's just going to be under the amend lease, and this is how actual renewals are individually created outside of the kind of bulk function or the worksheet. So that's where it's located, and then that's where you ultimately go in and actually accept that renewal offer once the person signs everything.